higher than average.
That's how I took it when you said it.
Yeah. That's what I mean, though. That's what I wanted you to take it as. It was more than normal, which is why when it happened,
fucking hell,
this Chinese motherfucker,
he's good, isn't it?
And Bruce Lee, he's channeling the spirits of all of them.
No, but he's good. Did you see the finish?
Yeah, when it was offside.
Who is he? Because if it's not the one
Song
that
Yeo.
Sweaty took, I might have to
It's
take
going to be
him.
Sweaty's one, because there's only one useful South
Son something. He's good, you know. I've taken him before. He's a very good goal scorer. Is it the one that was playing in
from
Germany?
Yeah. He doesn't play. He's done that. He's just a goal scorer. Just a sick goal. He just does what's necessary to time. It's like some Chinese Defoe. It's weird.
Yes,
It's
good,
weird.
Good definition. Yeah, exactly. He can finish. And the thing is, on Pez, he's got the stats.
Yeah, I saw. I had man like Van P and that, so I just couldn't get him.
Exactly.
He's a sweaty man.
Tottenham have somehow stepped up.
Do you know why? All it took was a manager who's not a complete and total idiot. Every year they would buy a completely new team. What the hell do you think's going to happen?
Yeah,
year up.
true,
This is the
true.
first year, 2 years in a row. They haven't been the top spenders. Ericsson and all these guys have been here. The last time they done this big spending, remember Holtby? That was the last fuck up year.
Yeah.
Where's Holtby now?
Yeah. But where is Holtby? Good question.
And I remember when they bought him, and I said to my mate who supports Tottenham, I said, "You lot just bought Holtby."
He's meant to be good
2
though.
years.
Holtby
He's
was.
not rubbish,
Yeah.
but there's no point. You don't need him.
Yeah,
and when they had Sandro, defensive, and I said, all these guys, you're wasting your money. All they needed was stability. Because the rest of the Premier is a joke. So anyone who just shows some stability...
That's why I think Arsenal are doing well.
Yeah,
you know?
you've had the same team for years.
And
just
years.
be stable.
Yeah.
Chelsea, who changed up their team and manager. Man United changed up their team and manager.
Absolutely.
Man City spent £40
I agree
billion
with you
every
here,
year.
100%. I even would go fast to say that's why the lesser teams are doing well.
Doing so
'Cause they've
well.
been
They're just
together
a bunch
for
of
long
English
time.
lads,
Yeah.
Houlihan and friends, just running around together for years.
Yeah.
Watford are flying.
They're
How
not-
can so
yeah.
many whack teams be flying?
Yeah.
And even the teams at the bottom struggling, West Brom will randomly clap Liverpool every now and then.
Yeah. Because they know each other, don't they? For real. It's a big thing. We say it's not, but we play football on a Saturday or whatever at the park. If me and you go and play,
It means a
we
lot
can
more than
play,
strangers.
Yeah, one. And number two, but if we play, it's going to take you some time before you know when to pass to me, when not to pass to me, if I'm fast or not. Do you know what I mean? It takes a while, yeah. You get to know each other. Like, I know one thing, Kunli's fucking fast. I know nothing else about, as far as I know, from what I remember, he's whack at football. So if you put me on a football...
Definitely true.
Ah, shit. So if you put me on a football pitch, yeah, with you, Kunli, whatever, Mark, whatever... I know
Play chase ball
what
for
to
him.
do with certain... Yeah, I wouldn't have a clue what to do with you. So I'll be reluctant
yeah.
to give you the ball because I've never played with you.
Yeah, makes sense.
I know for a fact Kunli's bloody fast. It's stuck in my mind. I remember playing with him and he's just so quick. So if anything, and there's a situation that my team's in, I might even say, Kunli, stand forward, yeah? Because I know if we break, I can just long it to Kunli. And when you play, you know what I mean? Have you ever played with your brethren, like 5-a-side, and you know each other?
Yeah, you're just waving, you're just connected.
Exactly.
You know, like, for example, I play with Marvin and them enough, so I knew that Marvin was the guy. If he's in the box, you give it to Marvin.
He's got that tight control.
He had that control, and he had that Clivert shot.
Yeah.
You give it to Marvin.
See, exactly. You just know. And when the whole team knows each other like that,
that's why
means
Barcelona,
something.
they don't change their formation and they don't change their players.
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona, when they're playing, is telekinetic because they've just done it so many goddamn times.
Yeah, exactly.
Barcelona do not change anything. Repetition.
That is so underrated in football.
And it's so obvious.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's so obvious.
In any walk of life.
Anything, repeat it.
Yeah.
But every team and all over the world changes their manager, changes the formation, changes the players. How can you get anywhere? This is the first 2 years in a row Tottenham have not been the biggest spenders. They're trying to win. They're almost going to win the league.
Because if you see the way they're playing, it's very they're in unison, man. They play. They're connected.
And it's ironic that Leicester are top of the league because
they play now like they know where.
But
each
Leicester
other
doing
is.
the same thing. And Leicester got no new players.
Yeah, exactly. Leicester are doing the same thing. They pass like they know where each. It's not stuttered. In fact, Leicester's more connected than Arsenal.
Leicester literally were moving like Barcelona. I can't remember which game it was,
Yeah, I
and
saw
everyone
it
saw
on
that.
Vine,
Yeah,
yeah.
everyone was on that
Exactly.
team. They are moving like Barcelona, and it's just a bunch of okay footballers who know each other well.
Yeah,
That's
right,
all it
you're
is.
Right, trust, you're right. Because when you get that, and then you've got a vibe with confidence together.
Because apart from
it's a
Mahrez,
wrap.
I don't know a single player they have bought and thrown in the team.
Yeah.
Apart from Mahrez, I do not know a single player they've bought and thrown in there. All their man I remember from when they first got promoted. They haven't done the big buy.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think you're spot on, and it's so obvious, but it's so overlooked in this commercial football world. Like, just a team that understands each other.
That's all.
No one rates it.
No one has any ratings on teamwork.
Yeah.
Xavi and Iniesta stood next to each other for 10 years, and everyone is shocked when they're. It's like they're telling. It's been 10 years. You're gonna learn.
It's true. It's true.
Put me next to a stranger.
True,
in 10 years'
man.
time, we will be moving like Iniesta and Xavi.
Yes. Because it's your character, innit?
Yeah, you
It's
learn
like-
who they are. Like,
yeah.
for example, if you know Rooney, you know this is a guy who's angry. He does tackles. I know if there's a loose ball flying and it's near Rooney, I know he's going for it 100%, so I know I better come back because he's going to go forwards.
Exactly.
That's why Gerrard and Lampard didn't work, because it's not a club team. You can't learn the other guy.
But that's the
away
problem with
trips.
England. They're so dumb, Yemi. They never ever build that. Even the way you select your team can help, but you could just select by character. It's so mixed. There's no chemistry.
Yeah. There's not. They
It's
just
so
pick players.
mismatched.
They just go
Yeah.
pick the best guys.
Yeah.
And Spain will leave guys at home. They don't care how good you
because
are.
you're
If you
not
don't
gonna
fit
fit
in,
the style. The
one time they
chemistry.
tried it, they
Yeah.
tried to throw in Diego Costa because he was that good. They went home in the group stage. Diego Costa does not fit the Spanish way.
Exactly,
in the slightest,
that's right,
But he
that's
was
right.
so good and so well known and so famous and so scored so many goals for Atletico. They had to take him because he was just too. You can't leave Diego Costa home like a 30
Otherwise,
million
how
pound
does he get to
striker.
go? Yeah.
Then they took him, they put him up front. He didn't score a single goal, and they went home in the group stage. The year before that, they went to the Europa Leagues with no strikers and won it. They won the European Cup with
remember
no
still,
strikers,
yeah.
and they won it because they took what they believed in. They know this doesn't quite make sense, but it works. The only striker they took, I think, was Negredo, who was a sub for most of it, and they won it.
And the issue with England is,
And they
what
played
are you
Fabregas up
doing?
front.
Huh?
They played Fabregas.
I
up front.
remember. So, no, that's the question though for the England. Like, what they don't have a style. That's the problem.
There
So
is
how
no
are you
style.
going to pick
But
the players?
The team reflects the country. What is the English national dish?
Yeah, fine, but you rob everything. So just pick the blam guys. That's it. It's
Basically.
simple. There's your answer there. This curry, it's a mixture of everybody's things. The country was
All the
built
people
on.
who came here.
So therefore, just pick what
Cudicini
I would
in
do
goal.
is pick Kane. Yeah, but then I'm accepting what England is. I'm not looking flair. I'm not looking no pass and move. We are trying to just bang. We're gonna play the
Forget
long
about
ball
football,
and we're gonna play
Andy
hard.
Carroll.
Yeah, Andy Carroll should just be playing for them.
Definitely.
Yeah. Andy Carroll, who? Milner must play.
Yeah.
And then what you know is, all right, we might not win the World Cup, but we're not going to get clapped.
We're not going to shame
We're
ourselves.
not going to get
No
battered by
shame.
anybody.
No
Yeah.
shame. None of this Costa Rica warfare.
It's not going to happen because these guys are battlers at the very least.
Yeah, these guys are the core
Yeah.
of the English society.
Fucking idiots, man. They don't even know what they are. Stupid cunts.
That much is true. They want to play football, they want to do a lot of things, but it's not for you. You got to know yourself.
It's not, because this whole football thing is footwork, it's dancing. Yeah, you lot ain't
About that life.
It's never there. They've never had the touch and things, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Beckham was a great striker of the ball. You know,
That's
there's
about it.
other elements
That's
to
about
the
it.
game. Yeah, that is about. But I'm saying that's not to be frowned upon. You can play, you can show skills in other ways, but England cannot be trying to do tiki-taka.
Yeah, basically, I think the problem is they do want to play football. That's why Gerrard and Lampard were there, because they're both great footballers, but only because the other people in their team are not English at their club.
Yeah.
That's why those two were great.
Then, if you're saying that, this is why you should get so upset with England. If you want to play football, Yeah, all right, Gerrard. You've got to put Huddlestone in the team.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
put the ball player that they wouldn't
Ramses
do it then.
And Wilshere's,
yeah,
but they will never do that.
You
because
see?
the name
So
isn't
what are
big
you
enough.
doing? Yeah, exactly. Because the guys that can play ball in England, they have no name.
Mark Noble can
you
play
see?
ball.
He can play ball on the ground. He can play. Who's the other one? Liverpool. Small Allen.
Not
Joe Allen.
I've never seen Joe
he
Allen.
can play ball. When Brendan was at Swansea, don't you remember how Swansea were playing?
Was he from Swansea?
Who?
Joe Allen.
Yeah.
Oh right, then
he was the main man, and then Brendan
Really?
moved him and brought him to Liverpool.
I remember that Swansea used to play. They used to play Barcelona 4-3-3.
Yeah.
That's why I remember them.
Waving.
And they were sick.
But
Michu, all of that shit.
Exactly. And a lot of them were English, but they won't pick those guys. Joe Allen can play. Who else can play? McCracken, but his career's destroyed now.
Who?
McCracken. There was some youngster.
Oh
that was at
yeah.
Chelsea.
He's done. His career's done.
He could play. Who else? There's a couple of Englishmen that can play. There's one. Oh man, at Everton. You'll never pick Osman. Osman can play.
He can play.
Yeah. But no one cares because they don't even recognise that sort of football here. Because he's not banging.
Yeah, it's not giving. It's not giving credit to just be able to play football has no value here.
Exactly.
Whereas Spain, that is the entire team.
They
it's just
will
a bunch
know.
of people who can play football.
Exactly.
Because if you can play football, you don't need strikers.
Oh, that was going. That was going on target. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. You don't need strikers. You just make open
Exactly.
goal.
Pass it into the open goal, and that's what they did. They were so nasty. Oh, they were so nasty. And they had David Villa, they had Paco, they had Negredo, they had Sabdalo. They were like, no strikers. It didn't fit the bill. Because all them men are not waivers. They're nasty.
Yeah.
So they were like, you're just not going to play.
I wish Brazil would come back to life. To be
that's when I...
You know that
football
balance,
died when Brazil left the top 8. That was the stamp that let's now close the door on football. When men like Hulk and God knows who became the stars of Brazil, these European boys.
Oh man, you can't treat Hulk like that.
Okay, I shouldn't target. To be fair, this is the thing. Hulk, there's actually nothing wrong with Hulk if it was 10 years ago. Because the problem is back then...
Yeah, Hulk's like Rivaldo in a way.
Yeah, but you can't have him and Europeans. You need the Brazilians.
Yeah,
then
he's
you
not
need
got
Hulk.
the others
you
around
can't,
him.
Exactly, you can't just have the spectacular specialist. You can't have like the extreme man.
That's true.
And
that's true, you know. If Hulk was back 10 years ago...
It's a wrap.
Yeah, that would have been
that was Roberto Carlos.
It's
a wrap back then. Because you've got all the wavy man waving, but then it's at some point it's time for someone to just put an end to this and just deal with it.
Exactly.
And that's in the most brutal, savage way. Because all them other ones are on dance, and then Hulk just comes through and starts. Because Rivaldo was not elegant.
Sweet.
He was efficient.
The strike.
And
why
nasty.
I'm saying yes, agreed. But why I'm saying it is Brazilian. Yeah, the way them man bang you brutally, it's still beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Hulk does not bang it into the centre of the goal. But it curls into the top.
But it curls because he's hit it so fucking hard.
No.
Hulk is not a finesse man.
Him?
He's brutal.
Hulk is not finesse.
I wouldn't say Hulk's
Put Hulk
a finesse
video
man.
on then.
I've watched Hulk all my life.
Hulk is just blam with it.
Maybe
it's
swerving.
Maybe it is.
But
it's swerving. And Rivaldo.
But the thing about Hulk and
Carlos
man is Carlos is different because he perfected the technique. Hulk is doing it with a different ball. I think if Hulk was doing it with the old balls, it wouldn't move so much. But these new balls, he is just smashing the life out of them. He's just smashing the life out of them. And there's space for him in the Brazil team, but you need to have all the other guys as well. And Brazil does not have the other guys anymore.
Imagine Oscar. I don't think
Oscar
old
would not
Brazil
be getting into... Oscar in the old days was about as good as... Remember, man, like... There used to be a player in the Brazilian team called Alex. There was always an Alex in the Brazilian team. And he was never good enough to actually get in the team. But he was fucking good.
The only reason I know of any Alexes is because of the computer games. That is where you will see him the most.
Alex and you'll be looking at me like, look at these stats. How is he not in the real Brazil team? Because they've got hundreds of them in Brazil. And he'll always be an attacking midfielder and left-footed. They have hundreds of them. They're all gone. That's the problem now. Oscar is not even as good as that Alex who couldn't get in the team.
Yeah, you might be right there. And the problem people make today is when Oscar does his one spin around bicycle
like
kick,
Brazilian.
they go crazy. But that's because he's Brazilian. It's like an African player.
Yeah,
we know
yeah.
at any
Certain
time they
things
might
coming,
do
yeah.
something. Do you remember that Newcastle guy, Cisse, Pape Cisse?
Cisse,
One
yeah, he had his
season,
one season,
he
yeah.
looked like something from space.
Yeah.
Do you remember what he was doing?
Yeah, the Chelsea goal. Even the Chelsea fans were like, alright, fair enough.
But it's in Africans to
any
do this
African
stuff.
can do it. Adebayo
Yeah.
could do it.
Exactly.
Any of them can do it at any given time.
There you go. So you don't get gas, but because he's black, it's easy for everybody to put him down and say
when
he's
Oscar
shit.
does it, it's a
They
wrap.
just believe still that he's world
This
class.
year, I think Oscar has scored 2 goals, or it's either 2 or 1.
What has he
Hazard's on
done?
1,
What has
Oscar's
he
on
done?
2.
Yeah.
They're both garbage, and they play for Brazil.
You're showing me Oscar's someone's player that you're clapping like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's garbage. He's
Oh,
garbage.
shit. Oh.
He's not, no, that's not even a lie. He's not garbage. He's garbage
it's
compared to what has
too
come
late,
before. In today's world, he's actually
What,
pretty
is
good.
Hulk garbage?
No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Hulk is a specialist. It's just that you can't have just
How
Hulk.
about this? I'm joining in. Oscar's garbage, nigga. Absolute garbage. I don't give a fuck who he plays
Oh,
for.
shit.
And I don't know who he plays for furthermore, but he's garbage. He's waste.
No, I wouldn't say he's garbage. What he did
Nigga,
against
you
Juventus...
done said it
no.
already.
I said for a Brazilian.
Yeah, garbage. Garbage.
The way
Do
you're-
you
the
know,
way
there's
you love
nothing
this
worse than a
garbage.
dead Brazilian, you know?
Oh.
Whether it's a woman or a footballer. And I know you agree with me on
Oh.
that. It's like...
Oh.
Exactly. Yeah, disagree. Yeah, it's like a Brazilian
can't.
woman that is got none of that thing about
It's
you.
useless.
That is just the deadest meat. Yeah, you cannot have a Brazilian footballer that's not
Yeah,
waving.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But they're dying. But football, it's not Oscar's fault. It's football. Football is dying as a whole. It's just dying slowly but
I
surely.
don't know, man.
I do, because the last person to win the Ballon d'Or, that even I didn't know this, the last person to win the Ballon d'Or that wasn't Messi or Ronaldo is Kaká.
Really?
After Kaká, no one else has won it.
Fuck.
Because Kaká was the last great.
Yeah. Oh,
Ever
shit.
since
What
then-
about Ronaldinho?
He was before Kaká.
Yeah.
Ever since Kaká, that's it. There's no more. Football has died. Messi and Ronaldo aren't that good. They're fucking good. They're up there with the best ever.
Yeah,
but the
exactly.
problem
So
isn't
what
that
you
they're
saying?
good. The problem is Baresi, Maldini.
Yeah,
they're all
basically there isn't.
gone.
There's only 2 that are.
At the
in
level
our
of
day,
before.
we had about
So
10
many.
mans that were
Put
on
it like
the
this:
moon.
the first
Yeah.
time I picked up Pro Evo ever in my life was on PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And I was playing. It was that's when it was still Superstar Soccer or whatever you're calling it. Back then. The first time I ever picked up that game,
was sick.
we had so
Yeah.
many players to
Yeah,
pick from.
yeah,
It was
no
mind
doubt.
blowing.
It's so true.
A man like Overmars back then was just another player.
Yeah, Overmars.
A man like Overmars today
Slightly better than Walcott.
would
let's
be
say.
Robin. A
And
man
he
like
wasn't
Overmars
even
today would be beyond.
respected.
Overmars
Yeah,
was
yeah,
he was okay, but no one talks about Overmars.
No. If you pick your team on the Pez at that time and you had Overmars,
You're not
it's
laughing. You're not
I've got
over- yeah,
Overmars.
yeah, but you're not-
He's
but-
kicking
but-
clap.
yeah, yeah, but
it's
you-
like having Walcott.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
You're not
Yeah.
celebrating because you scooped Overmars.
Yeah, no.
But Overmars today, in today's
you're
world,
right. You're actually right.
back then you had Salas.
Overmars is better than
Zamorano.
Pedro. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So I see
You
where
had
you're coming
you
from.
had Salas, Zamorano, Claudio Pizarro, because I specialised.
Who?
Claudio Pizarro, he played for Bayern and Chelsea. He's Peruvian.
Okay, that's not that long
I
ago.
specialised in the South American players back then because my team was Lazio and Argentina, and that's when I got Claudio Lopez, Mendieta. There were so many players to pick from. It was insane. Legend after legend after legend after. Remember Claudio Lopez?
Ranieri, that manager of Leicester, wasn't he playing?
No, he was the
Who
manager
was
of
the one with the
Valencia.
white hair?
Valderrama.
No, he looked like him, the Leicester manager.
Italian with
Ranieri.
what? No, Ravanelli.
Ravanelli.
Legends. There was so,
Ravanelli.
remember? And next to Ravanelli, you had
Ravanelli.
Vialli.
Yeah.
There was endless legends.
Endless legends, for real.
Back then, when I used to go through the teams, it was just stats after stats
Yeah.
after Figo. It was just
now I
stats
see where
after
you're
stats.
coming
The
from.
fight to be the best then was
Yeah,
real.
there was so
You are
many
going up
great
against the
players.
best
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
Now, who is there happening right now? Take away Messi, take away Ronaldo. Who is playing the ball right now that's going to go down as one of the greatest ever?
So
Keep in mind, 90% of the Premiership is Kones, Kakas, and Hones and athletics. 90% of the Premiership is athletics.
What do you mean athletics?
Fellaini. Basically, take away their physical.
Oh,
what do they have left?
Right. There, yeah.
Schneiderlin.
I can't disagree.
Take
with
away
you.
their
I can't
physical,
disagree with
and
you.
what do they have left?
I can't disagree with you there. You know what the problem is? It's the money, fam. Because when there's too much pressure for you to keep your job and pay your bills, what happens is you need what is immediately tangible. So, for example, if I need to, my child's life is dependent upon something, I can only go by what I can rely on.
Yeah. You can't take risks.
Height,
you can't take
speed,
risks.
I know tomorrow it will be strength.
Yeah. You
So
can't go
people
for what you can't see. You can't go for that thing you can't see.
I think that's the problem. Where there's so much pressure and it's not so much a game anymore. It's business.
For example, a good example is 10 years ago, teams like Deportivo La Coruña were fighting for the La Liga title. And if you remember about Deportivo, they had Roy Mackay, Diego Tristan.
Roy Mackay is Rovers.
Yeah. These are the names you remember. Diego Tristan, Juan Carlos Valeron.
Still playing?
Yes, he won't die. Juan Carlos Valeron is still playing. These guys were just footballers. You couldn't look at them and see why they should be playing. But they won I'm pretty sure they won the league in Spain. This is why in these days Barcelona and Real Madrid just dominate a lot, because instead of signing footballers, everyone's now signing what they can see. Football has become too like regimented. Boxing, it's become like boxing. It's become too regimented. They're more interested in your diet and what you're like than what can you actually play football.
That's right. Yeah, because they know that a lot of the time what we call football doesn't win the game.
Yeah.
Because what
I believe it will.
Is they're trying to get the points. This is what you have to understand. Because of the money, the points
the money
are so
is, the money changed everything. You can't be taking away the money. Basically, put it like this: when you go to Arsenal, when you go to Newcastle have got about 5 players called Sissoko and about 5 players called Cisse. Take all those 5 out and go to Stoke or West Brom or another mid-level team or West Ham. Take all their Sissokos and swap them round, and it makes almost no difference. It's like the same player is being signed over and over and over.
But we know why, don't we?
And Stoke just signed a new player called Sonato or Sissoko or something like that, and he looks like a Sissoko. There are so many Sissokos in football, I don't even know which one is which anymore. Liverpool have got Sarko and had a left side Sissoko. There's so many like Senegalese players in football right now, it's insane.
Because they're all rounders.
Yeah, they're not good at anything. Mane, Seydou Mane from Southampton, he plays up front. You could put him in midfield, change his name to Sissoko, it really wouldn't make that much difference. Kayute plays centre back, right back, defensive mid, centre mid. What the fuck is that? And he does it quite well as well. He's very good. This is a joke thing. I can't even diss Kayute because he's very good. I have him. He's very good, but I know full well he can't do anything, and he can't not do anything. You could take him and stick him somewhere else and it just doesn't matter. You could not put Montella left wing. You couldn't put Montella attacking mid. You couldn't put Montella right mid. You couldn't put Montella second strike. Montella is an out and out striker. The end.
Yeah, but that doesn't exist.
That's
now.
long gone.
Out and out striker doesn't exist.
But you can't afford it. You can't afford to have a player in your team who can only play in one position. There's too much money in this game.
Too much of a risk.
It's too much of a risk.
Get back and win the ball, this, that, and that. It's a shame, man.
The biggest shame in football, in today's football, the biggest death of football, who plays 2 up front?
No one.
Leicester, that's it.
But you know what? Yeah, why can't somebody be brave and do something
It's
different?
not going to happen.
Because you know
it's
what?
too much money.
Yeah, but
you would put 2 up front,
yeah.
your director would phone you and say, nigga, no.
Not until you start losing. They don't know shit.
I don't think they would even let you, but they know everyone else isn't doing it. So they'll be like...
Until you lose.
But that's the next problem. If you don't play 2 up front and you lose, no one can say it's because you put 2 up front, because everyone else did it. The second you put 2 up front and you lose, you've just opened up a window. Maybe it's because you had 2 up front.
Yeah, exactly. Why?
And
no one does that.
No one does it.
But my point here is, look at fucking Hernandez. Mistreated, yeah?
Definitely.
Mistreated. He finally got let off the leash, yeah? right? No one wants him because he's an out and out.
He can't do anything but score.
All he's doing is clapping.
Put it like this.
I still believe in number 9. I still believe in number 9.
They're out there, they just can't get no games.
Yeah, but they need to. Do you know what he's doing in Germany? His team are blamming.
Look what Jermaine Defoe's doing in England. Do you know when Jermaine Defoe got signed to Sunderland, that last manager wouldn't start him?
Yeah. He's getting clapped. He score.
Jermaine Defoe didn't start. And I remember when I used to see him on the bench, and I was like, they put him on the bench? And then he'd come on as a sub score. Then someone got injured and they had to play Defoe. He scored 2 weeks in a row. Sam Allardyce came in because the other manager got sacked. Sam Allardyce starts Jermaine Defoe every week. He scored about 9 goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know, this is when I knew football.
How can you not believe in the number 9 though? Do you understand it?
I fully understand it.
Because they want dribblers and passers up
They
front.
want so many things, but the problem is...
But you cannot be someone that's just going to finish your move off, in my opinion.
But it's just, basically, if Raul was in the Real Madrid youth team today, he's in fucking trouble.
Yeah, but Raul could do playmaker now. He's one of the bitches, man.
But that's the problem.
Even though he is a striker.
Raul can't. I don't think you can get Raul. Who's the Raul of today?
I'm hearing it's Griezmann, but
it's not, because Griezmann can play on the wing. He's fast. He's got skill and he's athletic.
Yeah,
Who is the Raul of
fast,
today? Who is the Raul of today? Yeah. Look around world football. The closest you probably get is Podolski, and that nigga could not get a game.
No. Podolski's blam. Are we talking about the same player?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to say,
was slow and finesseful.
But I'm trying to think who's the closest to a Raul today
there isn't
in world
one.
football.
That much we agree.
But that's insane.
Because Raul's a specialist, isn't he?
But this is the whole problem. All these specialists are legends. So why would you start ignoring the specialists when they're all your legends? Fear.
Yeah, it's pure fear. That's what you're showing me. Because it's a risk. Raul now
is a massive risk.
Yeah.
You can't have Raul just walking around casual.
Exactly. But if I was managing,
remember Redondo.
I'd have Raul.
Redondo, Guti, these guys are not...
Redondo was brilliant.
But
Redondo could play now. Wasn't he a box-to-box?
A bit, but Redondo was a bit too... He was a bit too much football.
He was just better than... He could play now. He's just better. He's like a Sissoko that could play football from what I remember. He can play football,
definitely. Yeah. But I think they would even look at him and think, you don't even fit the look of what I want. Like, certain players get signed because of how they... Nike is surviving off how he looks. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, because they just know
he's
he's going to be strong,
you know something's
fast.
happening. That's what football has become now. There are so many Sissokos in football, it blows my mind. I cannot believe how many people are called Sissoko in football. Did Senegal suddenly just start learning how to play? They've been playing football forever. Why now is every other footballer from Senegal? It's nuts.
Why are you doing this, man?
Ivory Coast and Senegal, that's where everybody comes from now. Really?
Do you know what? The one thing is they're cheap, isn't it?
Exactly.
They're cheap.
It's just low price. You're getting a warrior. He's going to run. What's this guy? Wanyama. Perfect example. That nigga, change his name to Sissoko, take him out of the team, put him in Newcastle's team, take Newcastle Sissoko, put him in that one, job done. It doesn't matter anymore. All the teams are like the same. Every single team is the same. It's nuts. I can't remember. Someone just signed some multi-million-pound Senegalese player. I think it was Stoke.
Multi-million pound?
Yeah,
is there
like
such thing as
23
that?
million. They spent like 23 mil on some
They've
random
got
Senegalese.
bro.
But that's what's in fashion right now. That's what it is right now.
Yeah, because if you do get the one that can actually fucking play,
you have absolutely got a winner.
Yeah.
Like Ramirez. If you get Ramirez, you have got an absolute winner. But it's
Ramirez,
just gone too far.
I was thinking more George Weah. If you get an African that actually has a touch and stuff. But that Ramirez, there is a grade B Ramirez at Leicester.
Kane or Shone or something.
Yeah, there's better Ramirez's in the game. Just like, who's that?
Someone in the park.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Who's that?
No, if you score 6 goals on a Sunday, it's for Sunday football, you can set it to the sky and you can win the thing.
Is it?
Fucking Jamie Redknapp, he's got a fucking clue. Jamie Redknapp hasn't got a shred of this skill. But he deaded him, He deaded him bad.
He's famous, bruv. He's nice, no, isn't he? Whoever that is.
He deaded him. But that level of skill is insane. If his name was Sissoko, he's getting signed tomorrow.
That's the truth. Oh, stop it.
I'm not joking. Stop it. Imagine if a manager sees that he's black, he's running, he's fast, he's got a bit of skill. Sign him up. He's not going to cost you 140 billion a week, is he? Sign him up. It's basically the business of football has slowly overridden
the
football.
Game. But
how many foreign owners were there in 1993?